Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting. My name is Carl Froch, aka the Cobra, and I'm delighted to be joined by Johnny Nelson, former super middleweight, cruiserweight world champion. It's all right, we can keep it rolling. You don't look like a super middleweight. No one's that stupid.
And you're missing out the other bit as well.
Am I missing
Former
out?
four-time middleweight champion of the world, Hall of Famer, 80,000 people knocking George Gunn out cold.
I don't like to show off, mate. You know what it's like.
I know, I understand, I get it. Very humble.
Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Cobra Casino. So, as you've probably already worked out, we're not in the sunny UK, although they are having a heat wave at the minute.
But yeah, I was going to do a grass bounce in your garden because that grass is cut fine. Did you do it?
I saw you doing some snakes yesterday with the kids. What was you doing? We should have got that on video. We'll try and get him to do it again and clip it into this. Go on, Johnny. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yes, right! Get out there!
He's all over it, look.
Okay, take two.
Yeah,
No, we're in sunny Marbella. We're here for a couple of weeks. Johnny's come along and joined us. It's a pleasure to have him here. So I can't have Johnny Nelson in the house and not get him on the channel. And what I want to do is I want to talk about today something short and sweet, but it's the biggest story in boxing at the moment. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Is this fight realistic? Is it going to happen? What do you know? What have you heard? And what do you think?
I think Eddie Hearn has added fuel to the fire by giving it some credence, some quality, some credit by saying this is a front runner. I really and truly don't. I could be completely wrong, or I could just not understand where AJ is in his career. From Eddie saying it's a front runner, it's got everybody excited. Everybody's talked about it. But remember, Jake Paul was talking about fighting Canelo last month.
Yeah.
You remember when Eubank Jr. was talking about fighting Triple G. Once you start talking to people in the same sentence, then you've got it. I think, and I've said it before in a few interviews, I think Jake Paul's brilliant because if he has hustled Eddie into believing this fight's really going to happen, he's played a blinder. Now we're all talking about, at this level, Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. Now there's
A
two
guy
ways.
that lost to Tommy Fury.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not even a British champion. So number one, would that be sanctioned? Number two, where, if the fight did happen, where would it happen? Because I don't think they'll let it happen in the UK. Number three, in reality, what does that say about AJ's appetite? If it's true, what his appetite in the fight? Now AJ has not actually spoken about it. I think he said something once in reference to this, saying I rang him. That's it. He's not said anything else. But it just says, what does it say about him? Because I know he'll get paid a hell of a lot of money. A hell of a lot of money.
Do you think that's why Eddie's giving it some kind of credence to try and just test the waters? I'll chuck it out there. I'll say this fight's 99% done, which is what he said, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then see what feedback he gets.
Yeah,
if he gets everyone saying load of bollocks, don't want to see it.
It doesn't matter what feedback he gets. It's the case of would Jake Paul realistically want to get in with Anthony Joshua and get his arse knocked out? And I don't believe it.
That's the next question. Do you think that's what? Can you see a world anywhere where Jake Paul's got a chance against AJ?
Not a chance in hell.
Even with the
Not
current
a chance.
AJ?
Regardless of this AJ we're looking at now, not a chance in hell. And you know what?
I totally agree with that.
It's like having a dog behind a cage and it's going to bark like mad at you, and then you take the cage back and it'll settle down. I'm only joking, man. And I think this is one of those situations with Jake Paul. But he's done a job. When we're all talking about it, we're talking about Jake Paul against AJ. Then you've got to look at it from AJ's point of view. If this is serious, how can AJ be fit for this fight, but not fit to have a rematch with Daniel Dubois or anybody else? So you can't say I'm good enough and fit enough to fight you, but not you, and you, and you.
Well, everything that I've been saying since AJ got El Spar code from Daniel Dubois, head first on the canvas. Yeah, but he got El Spar code, didn't it? Right. But since he got done,
I like AJ, man.
Listen, I like AJ. It's been fantastic for boxing, but you've got to put it on what level's he at now, where's his mind at, and what does he want to now get out of the sport. And when you're getting ironed out by Daniel Dubois, who then he got beat up, didn't he, by Usyk recently? Yeah. Like he's done them all though, Usyk. So Usyk's not a great measuring stick for how someone's performed. But AJ lost to a guy that Usyk then just flattened.
Yes.
So when I'm saying AJ should retire at world level boxing because he's going to get hurt like he did in his last fight, and it's not fucking healthy to get knocked out that many times.
I don't want to see that again.
This vindicates me and says, you know what, Froch is right, because if they're looking at fighting Jake Paul, then everything Froch has been saying all along about he should retire, that proves it, because you only fight Jake Paul when you're ready to retire, surely.
Yes, and you know what, he might now be looking at it as a business. It's his prize fighting. And if he can fight at this level and
but would you say, sorry to cut you up here, but would you say he's got no ambition at world level now, he's saying about I might fight Jake Paul?
If this fight happens, He shows it to me. He's got no ambition.
Yeah, thank
Again, in regards to world class boxing. So when he says I want to be 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, I'll never believe it.
This ain't going to get there, is it?
It's never going to get there. And but it's going to make a lot of money. Now, the other thing is if this is a consideration, what he should consider is Andre Ward. Andre Ward has said, give me someone at me, I'll have someone at. Now, Andre Ward, look at everything that he's achieved. It's the roll of the dice. You know, AJ spoke about the roll of the dice. Again, he's thinking, you're 41 years old, you're a former light heavyweight, you've been out of the ring too long, I've been more active than you. AJ should be thinking, I can smash this old man. Or would he want to chance losing to the likes of Andre Ward? And you know what this guy's about. He's still got that the science, the maths, everything in his head. But is a 41-year-old or whatever he is, Andre Ward, capable of beating a unit, a big punching unit like Anthony Joshua? I personally think I'd love to see it. I would.
Skill set wise, I think he's good.
Oh yeah, good. He's better. I think skill set wise, he's better than AJ.
How big is Andre Ward now? Because somebody like me, who's super middleweight like Ward, I know Ward's been up at light heavyweight as well, so he's naturally a bit bigger than me. But somebody from super middleweight division, for me, can't jump up to heavyweight. But then you see Roy Jones from light middleweight go up and become heavyweight champ. So I suppose it can be done. But for me, AJ's just too big, 6 foot,
but
six.
If I piled 3-4 stone on you, you're not going to fight the same as you did when you were super middleweight. And I think Andre Ward, even though in his head he has the knowledge and the skill, and a lot more ring savvy than AJ, I think this would makes it even. He's older, he's a smaller man jumping up to AJ's size. He makes it more even and more interesting. Now it's a case of who's going to put them on the table. I know AJ responded with a little ching.
AJ said payday in the Canelo voice.
Yeah. So basically,
I think that's what Andre Ward is doing, because he's been retired since he was 31 years old. He retired undefeated with belts, and you think, well, he's a man of God, so he's he's hung his gloves up and gone off gracefully. He's doing podcasting. He's a pundit for the Sky, the international broadcast in America.
Yes.
Is it Showtime or HBO, whatever he's doing, and you feel like he's got a nice little TV career. And he's done well. Is he calling out AJ out of this, in his head? Is he? Because he's not calling out. He's not calling out Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, but you of all people should know that we fighters think we can always fight. I'm 58.
Yeah, but is he thinking AJ's an easy touch?
Of course he is.
You think he is?
That's why he's not shouting out Usyk. That's why he's not even shouting out Danny Dubois. He's not shouting. He's thinking, it'll be the biggest prize and the less risk out of all of that.
That's a bit of an insult then to AJ.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I did here, and I don't know if it's true or not, so AJ, I'm sorry if it's true. I'd heard that AJ went to, was in America, and he went to Canelo's gym. And Canelo said, do you want to go get in the ring and have a bit of a spar? And AJ called out, no, I'm cool, man, I'm all right. And when he got got back in the vehicle to leave, he was pissed off.
Your Ward was?
No.
Oh,
AJ was pissed off that Canelo asked him to spar with him.
Oh, right, okay.
He's like, who do you think I am? And he was mad kicking the side. That's what I heard. I heard it through the grapevine. So he's got that pride there. Yeah. So he's thinking, this little man calling me out. Yeah. Now Andre Ward doing this, if this gets some traction and gets some interest, and AJ, and so the option was there, and AJ chose, what's his name, Jake Paul over Andre Ward, it tells us what his appetite is. It tells me what his appetite is.
Eddie Hearn was absolutely hammering Tyson Fury and Ngannou before it happened. Then he chucked AJ in with Ngannou. AJ did what we thought a proper professional should do to a guy who's MMA fighting.
Yeah.
He smashed him in a round. Was it a round or two?
Yeah, took him off his feet.
Just flattened him. And when you look at that, Eddie now saying AJ Jake Paul, is he just pure money? Is he just Chuck Paul? Listen, is that all Eddie's about?
No, but you know what? Like him all over him, I think Eddie's brilliant.
Do you think he genuinely thinks AJ can become a world champion again?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So it's just bullshit.
He's making as much money for his fighter as possible. Eddie Hearn is a promoter. And I'll keep saying he's the best promoter in the world. Today he'll say what you're doing is wrong, but tomorrow he'll say, well, what you did was wrong yesterday, but what I'm doing today is right. And so Eddie's getting as much as for his fighters. It's business.
He's getting called out on it by a lot of people though.
Yeah, but Eddie's got thick skin. Mate, you don't care. Yeah, he don't care about that stuff. And that's what I actually like about him. And he's so wrong and sometimes gets it right. And I'm like, you know what, Eddie? You're good, mate. You're wasted being rich. You could sell anything.
So Jake Paul, we said he ain't got a chance. Do you think he's doing it just for the hype then to try and get his name back? Because the Canelo fight never happened. And then he was talking, who else was he talking about fighting? What was the last one? It was Canelo, wasn't it? Then that fell through.
I don't believe for one second.
now chuck AJ
I don't believe for 1 second he's seriously thinking about getting in the ring with Anthony Joshua. But hold on, Jake Paul can fight, but he's a good domestic fighter. He's a good domestic fighter. He's a domestic fighter, and so you can't take that away from like.
I'm not sure about that.
Domestically, you'd put him in there with the kids at British level. I'm putting anything.
He went the distance with Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
So that's domestic level.
Yeah,
so in
Tommy
sense,
Fury's not even a British champion.
Yeah.
So that shows you domestically, it'll give you a good run for his money.
Yeah.
You listen. I get it, but look, Carl, I know for a fact, if Jake Paul sent you an abusive message saying let's have it, Froch, you get yourself in there. You're looking good, Nick, man. I see you doing press ups, one hand, swimming, ducking your head on the wall for about 4 minutes and all that sort of stuff. You're fit. So
I'm fighting fit though, because you know yourself is the difference.
Yeah, you are there. You're a nutter.
But what about
you're a nutter? I see it.
What about me and Jake Paul though? After 4 rounds, if you manage to get me into 4 rounds, have I got the engine?
Of course, come on.
I'm trying to get Jake Paul to think. Oh, actually, I'll be. A lot of people say that I wouldn't be able to fight Jake Paul because I'm too old.
No. You see, you can be 90% fit, but if you've not got that mental strength there, that's something that's needed to make you a 4-time former world champion, a Hall of Famer. You ain't got that.
No.
And I think even when you're 90, some kids are trying to mug you on the street. You'll be fighting with one hand and everything like I love you and still.
Yeah. Do you think
it's in your DNA?
It's the experience and the technique, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what I tried to explain to people. There's a guy I was talking about him yesterday, Fidel Castro Smith. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He lost to Henry Wharton. A lot of people didn't think he lost. He used to train with him in Sheffield. I trained with him in Nottingham. So Fidel Smith used to spar me and a guy called Ricardo Sams, a couple of other pros. There was 5 or 6 or 7 of us lined up. A good friend of mine, Adam, my best mate Adam Fuchs, and was lined up, and he'd do a round with me, 2 rounds with me, then a round with Adam, then Mick Monaghan would jump in, and he'd just play with us. Yeah. And we'd be thinking, we're trying to. He says, try and knock me out, see what you can do, and he'd slip, get behind the shoulder, little shoulder roll, and that experience, that level, because we was amateurs and we was coming through, it could just control the pace. Hit us when he wanted, tie us up.
I'll tell you.
So do you think that experience would be the difference between someone like me or a pro of my stature against Jake Paul?
It's the one thing you can't buy. One thing you can't buy, borrow, pretend to have.
Because people won't understand you.
Yeah, they don't get it. Fidel Castro Smith, Brendan called him Slugger O'Toole.
That's him.
Because his name was so unique. His father was a fan of the Cuban dictator, Fidel Castro Smith. So he thought, I'm going to call you a different name so people don't know who you are. Because he was a decent amateur boxer. Now his last amateur fight, only wanted to go the distance with him. And so he thought, I'll give him a different name so people don't know it's Fidel. So he called him Slugger O'Toole. Right? And so after some Irish fighter, and Fidel was to get him with a green cloak and then he's there. Anyway, everybody knew it was him eventually. I called him 7 dumpling bellies after that because when he retired, he still had a big belly on him. He was still getting in there, getting in the ring to spar with everybody.
He's actually not in bad shape now.
But out of all the fighters I've ever seen, Harold Graham, Prince Nassim Hamid, Paul Sulky, all of them, he's the most skillful fighter I have ever seen.
Talented.
Not to win a world title. And so back to it again.
Shout out to Fidel Smith, by the way.
If you've got the skill, it doesn't matter how much money you've got, it ain't going to give you the wisdom and the experience that money can't buy that.
So how many rounds would it take me to beat that fake piece of shit? Sorry, I just don't like what he's doing for boxing.
I think you'd probably do him about 6-7 rounds.
6-7 rounds?
Yeah. Not only because he's tough and he's got a lot of ego and all those fans that are there for him.
When I get close, 6 or 7 rounds.
Tell it because
I don't know if I've got 7 rounds in me.
Yeah,
7 3-minute rounds. That's 21 minutes.
Because he'll take a beating, then he'll think, you know what, I don't need this.
Would he take a beating though? Can he take a beating?
He'll go so far. He can't take our kind of beating.
Has he ever been clipped on the chin?
But he can't take our kind of beating. But he will take a beating.
7 rounds.
And then he'll say, I'm out of this.
7 rounds.
He'll have a reality check.
You know that bullshit fighting, is it 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds?
It can be arranged to be 2 or 3, but then I think if this AJ fight happened, there's no one in a billion years that's a 2-round fight because AJ then has gone. 2-minute round. That means AJ's now gone over to the dark side, and I don't think that.
So we don't think the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight's going to happen. AJ looks like he's not giving Andre Ward any sort of credibility because he probably feel that's disrespectful. And there'll be more money in the Jake Paul fight, won't there?
Yes, and it's prize fight, so he'll tell you where he is in his career. If he takes Jake Paul over Andre Ward, it says, right, he's now a prize fighter. That's what it's all about.
Do you think AJ is done at world level? I know we kind of.
I do. I think he's done at world level. And I know Sky. They put a poll out. Who does AJ fight next? Tyson Fury, Jake Paul, Oliver Usyk, Danny Dubois, Dylan White, Deontay Wilder, Yoko, Martin McCauley. none of these people have been
I
mentioned.
feel like you can't put him in with any of them.
None of these
I mean,
people.
maybe the White, but he's already done White. And, but
I-
you won't put him with Usyk. You won't put him with. I mean, Wilder's
I won't
finished.
put him with Bacoli, even though Bacoli lost to Parker.
Yeah.
Remember, came in at 24
late.
hours notice, came in like 3 or 4 stones heavier. He's a nightmare in the gym. So I'd put him in with, if they picked any of him, Deontay Wilder, because he looks shot to bits.
Yeah.
And that's why I wouldn't go with Yoko. Yoko's too young, and he's thinking these young guns coming through. Daniel Dubois, it's not even being mentioned at all. Usyk, Tyson Fury, them two are playing.
So if AJ ends up fighting Jake Paul, fake Paul, it's fair to say it's a swan song, final payday, cashing out.
Yeah.
Job done.
And you can't blame him.
No,
You can't blame him. He's done amazing things to our sport.
If you can make mega money by fighting that fake geezer who thinks he can fight and cash out with an easy win, then fair play to him.
I think it's a great union between he and Eddie Hearn, and we've seen a great rise. You introduced the two of them, so I've got to give you props for that. And I think these two, it was lightning and thunder hitting at the right time for AJ to achieve everything he achieved, and we could see the best of Eddie Hearn. So I think that crest of the wave has gone now, and I think AJ needs to think smart and think, I'm going to go where the dollars are.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting thing you said there, introducing AJ to Eddie Hearn. He might acknowledge that one day. You never know. He might come good.
I'm sorry, I like Eddie, and I think he'll come good. I think he'll come good.
I can see that.
He'll buy you a drink.
Kissed a bit of Eddie arse, aren't you, lately?
I like that. You know what? People don't get it. They think, you work for him. No, I don't.
Listen, Eddie's a fantastic promoter. You can't knock him.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. What he did for boxing, what he did for my career was fantastic. I'd finished in the Super 6, and look what I did. The Butte fight. I had to do the winning, but the Butte fight, little mark time fight with Mac, but then the Kessler rematch and the 2 Groves fights, that was a finish, lad. Epic proportion. That was off to the moon, wasn't it?
And that's what I'm saying. So you do the fighting,
finish.
and you want someone to do the talking. I've been them all. Mickey Duff at some point, Frank Warren at some point, all of them at some point, and even Eddie's dad at some point. Eddie's dad was done. But what I'm saying to you is, so Eddie now doing what he's doing, I've seen him all come and go, and so he gets his job done. You don't have to like him. You just have to do the job. That's why you got to give him his props.
Still a prick, that. I said that, not Johnny. Let's have a look. I need to ask you about the Boxer deal. That's tickled him, hasn't it? That? I need to ask you about the Boxer deal and BBC, because Ben Shalom's now, I thought he would have got his contract renewed with Sky.
Did you?
And that's not happened, because he was telling me he was going to get renewed. And I thought, okay, he must know something I don't, because he's inside. Yeah. So that deal now for Boxer's gone. BBC 2, 4 fights a year, is it? I mean, Audley Harrison, David Hay, myself, when he won that Olympic medal in 2000 in Sydney, Audley Harrison got a deal with the BBC, and they was involved in boxing. My first 5 or 6 fights on the BBC. And then they just pulled the plug.
The devil's in the detail. So on the surface, he's got this big grand deal with BBC. It's 4 shows a year. I gather on BBC Two. How are you going to feed your fighters to make them household names like this grand gesture he's trying to say? How are you going to do it? And I think Ben has had to learn from the mistakes he's made with previous networks he's worked with, and I hope he does a good job with it. But in reality, the devil's in the detail of how this works out and how it actually looks. I think Ben was a young man that was given the keys to the kingdom when he was at Sky, and in my opinion, not Sky's opinion, anybody else, in my opinion, I don't think he took full advantage of that to lift his profile, boxer's profile, the fight's profile. I personally think, you know what, he achieved well, but he could achieve so much more.
So fighters like Ben Whittaker, Chris Eubank Jr. was talking about, is that fight done with Conor?
November it's supposed to be.
Ben Whittaker, fighters like that who are big prospects and dubbed for world title ambitions.
Yeah.
How's he going to keep these fighters?
Exactly, and this is the problem. And these fighters, and remember, you can't keep telling everybody tomorrow. You can't keep everyone your promise in this game, because fighters now are too wise, too smart not to suffer the mistakes that we did. I've got your fight tomorrow, and tomorrow ends up being next year. Yeah. So Ben, he's a trier. I know he's got to go through it. He's got, and I had so many things in regards to BBC getting in touch with Matchroom and asking them to do the production of it. And I'm like, why would you tell Eddie that? Eddie's going to throw you under the bus. So I think Ben, again, good luck to him. I hope he's learnt his lesson from any mistakes he's done in the past to make the most of this deal that he has with BBC and go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I think he was unlucky when he came into the boxing at the time he did, because Eddie took all his fighters over to DAZN.
Yeah.
And he was stuck building a new stable on Sky, and you know yourself, it's hard.
But I don't think that was bad luck. I thought it was good luck, because Sky's the biggest platform in the world.
Yeah.
And regardless of how you look at DAZN, TNT, whatever it is, if Sky want to ruffle feathers, they'll ruffle feathers like that. So they give this young man a chance to conquer the world. So it wasn't a Sky
But he can
problem.
only work with the fighters he's got, is what I'm saying. Because when Eddie started, he had Kell Brook and Darren Brock, and then I came on board, and I had that massive fight with Butte after the Super 6, and then we got the pay-per-view back with Kessler, and just having that pay-per-view, and then the 2 fights with Groves, which transcended and sold out 80,000 at Wembley Stadium, which we know about, and then on from that, it was Anthony Joshua. Yeah. And then that was off. That was off.
And that's what I'm saying. But
that was timing, wasn't it?
Ben's not Eddie. You know, I think that union, Eddie, Sky, and AJ, you know, it just worked perfectly. Timing was everything.
That's what I'm saying. So he's not been lucky with the timing in that
Yeah.
sense. But he has had the fighters. I suppose he's got he's got Ben Whittaker. What other fighters would you say though? Because to try and work with, you're trying to build fighters from the ground up, and it's difficult, isn't it?
But this is business, and these fighters have got to think about their career. They've got to think about their profile. They've got to think about their tomorrow. Yeah. So for Ben, I understand Ben will have a fight today, and he'll have 3 or 4 fights today. So these fighters have got to think about themselves. They want to get themselves out, get themselves a profile, get themselves to be world champion or whatever. So this is going to be the balancing act for a boxer, and it's a case of how boxers deal with it and how they manage it.
I feel like if you've got a 4-fight deal over a year with a terrestrial television channel, terrestrial television's great, you get the views, people are watching it, you get millions of people watching it. But 4 fights a year, if you're a professional fighter now being managed by anyone, or even if you use your own brain, I'm not telling fighters what to do, but you're not going to sign with a promoter that's got a 4-fight deal with the BBC, are you? You're going to look elsewhere.
You could sign a deal with Sky and have no fighters, but once you've got that Sky deal, all the fighters like, give me, I want in.
Yeah.
To us on the surface, to what it looks like, if this 4-fight deal with BBC is what it is, would I, as an active fighter, want to say I want to come to you and tie myself to you? Because that's not enough for me. No. So unless you can say I've got other deals, it's not an exclusive contract. I just don't know how it would work.
Yeah, I agree. I know what you're saying. So anyway, we've touched on it. AJ, Andre Ward, AJ, fake Paul, Anthony Joshua against whoever else, maybe nobody. It's them.
Who do you think it should be?
Who do I think he should fight?
Joshua.
I think he should retire unless he can get a massive payday with fake Paul. That's what I think.
Would you Paul? Would you?
What,
So you don't like the Andre Ward idea?
The Andre Ward fight for me, I think it's a dangerous fight. I don't think it's massive.
Do you think Andre Ward could do it?
Do you think that's going to be a crossover fight? Everyone's going to, I need to see that. Most people in Britain don't know who Andre Ward is.
I think they could build it up because Andre Ward is like, you know, up there. Those retired. You know how good this guy is.
There's a lot of interest in the boxing world. Say, Andre Ward, that's interesting. But is it a crossover? No, it's not big enough. And that's why I think Andre Ward left it out of the room. Anthony Joshua left it out of the room because he's thinking, fuck that. It's a fight I could lose. And I'm probably not going to get paid as the mega money. So,
but the fight against Jake Paul ain't going to happen anyway. It ain't going to happen.
But it's definitely not gonna
we
happen.
can all believe it. Jake Paul.
Eddie Hearn said it's 99% done.
Because you know what? And Jake Paul's done a great job in hustling Eddie.
Yeah.
He's going to get, so either Eddie's in on it or he's let this young man hustle him.
Yeah.
And so the kids kidded the kidders.
Well, listen, we've had a chat, we've caught up. We'll have another chat as well in a
I'm going to do some sunbathing, man.
days, bit of sunbathing, top up the town.
Yes, I baby.
Might as well.
Black is the number.
Let us know in the comments below who you think wins the fight and what Anthony Joshua should be doing next. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Let us know in the comments below. This has been another episode of Froch on Fighting. Got the main man here, Johnny Nelson, aka
Blick Man.
We'll see. He said it, not me. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode. But I hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Froch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.